the Salt Lake Valley to the mist-covered banks of the Hudson Valley, and all across the globe, the signal drifts through the night. This is Midnight Signals. Now, here are your hosts, Sergeant Shenanigator and Alien Mike.
Alien Mike, what's going on tonight, man?
Hey, how's it going? Another day in paradise?
Feels like it's been a week since we talked last.
Yeah, it has. It has felt like that. It's been one heck of a week, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, it's been a miserable week here.
Oh yeah.
You know most of that, and I've heard a few of your stories. So yeah, it's been miserable for both of us. But I think tonight we're gonna have some fun.
Yeah, I think we will. This is going to be an interesting night for sure.
Absolutely.
Real quick, did you start this episode from the schedule?
Yes, I did.
Okay. There we go. Good morning, Nadine. How are you?
Nadine?
I'm used to seeing somebody chat like right before we even are on. So
yeah. So, yeah, tonight, Mama Drew, how are you tonight? Haven't seen you forever. I
know. Seems like I haven't seen you for a year.
I haven't seen her for about a year myself.
I know.
You think yeah, I can hear her laughing downstairs.
I can hear it too.
We got Lilith with us tonight. Lilith, how are you tonight?
How's it going?
So this one was a difficult one for me to research because it kept going off into pretty much it turned into a religion.
Yeah, it definitely did. Like we were talking about pre-show, it was hard because it didn't matter what I researched, what I watched, what I read, what I looked up. Somebody turned it into its own religion.
Oh, absolutely. Sarah, it's definitely time for a visit. And how are you tonight? So I tried to keep, I got a little bit of the religion in it, but I tried to keep most of it out.
Yeah.
So, but I encourage everybody, if you got something you're interested in this, send it out in the chat. We'll answer it as best we can. And I think with that, we should get into ley lines, man.
Let's get into it. I'm just pulling up the email you sent, just so I have that up.
Okay. So ley lines, they crisscross the planet like invisible threads, ancient pathways linking sacred sites, stone circles, and forgotten ruins. I forgot how to talk for a minute. What if long before maps or machines, humanity could feel these alignments, an instinctive pull to build, pray, and even disappear among the same magnetic threads that guide birds, whales, and perhaps something not from here. Tonight we'll follow those lines across continents, across time, and maybe across worlds. So let's walk the old paths and see where they lead.
Let's do it.
All right.
So I've got a bunch of stuff that I've pulled up, and like you had mentioned earlier, we're following the same format we did. So whenever you get on a topic, I'm going to pull up whatever I have on that, and we'll do it the same.
How are you tonight?
How's it going?
So yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll start. Feel free to jump in anytime. Correct me when you find I'm wrong, because I'm sure I am with this topic.
Okay.
But ley lines started out with a guy by the name of Alfred Watkins. He was an English businessman and an amateur archaeologist, photographer, and he was a native of Hertfordshire, which is deeply attuned to the English countryside. And on June 30th, 1921, according to the research I found, which was hilarious, Watkins was driving or walking. We're not sure.
Yeah,
It actually said that.
Yep, we don't know. He was moving.
So he was walking or driving in Hertfordshire near Blackwardine, and I'm screwing these names up, so hopefully Colin's not here.
Yeah, I was just about to say, if he's there, you're going to be corrected.
He noticed that several ancient features such as Stonehenge, burial mounds, other really ancient artifacts seem to line up in a straight line.
Yep.
Right. And from there, he started eyeballing other things. He started, figuring out that like churches that were built hundreds of years before this started lining up in a straight line. The very first thing he found was the English St. Michael's ley line, which linked St. Michael's Mount in Glastonbury with several churches in between, all dedicated to St. Michael. And it was a straight line. I even had to pull it up and verify myself. It really is a straight line.
Yep, I did the same. Now, I'm going to interrupt for a minute,
Okay.
and I'm sure you're gonna get into it at some point. But during all the research, I found a lot on the more skeptic side of things, that a lot of the churches or burial mounds and stuff that were in these straight lines were natural clearings. So that's why things were built that way.
Yep, and we are going to get into that.
Okay.
So there was actually during Celtic times across the United Kingdom, Scotland, Wales, and Ireland, there were what was called the ferry paths.
Okay. So
and the ferry paths were clearings and paths that ran in a straight line that to this day they still don't build on them.
okay.
Some of the places that they have built on them, they've had miserable failures in those buildings.
Okay. Yeah, it just, when you talked about him, noticing churches like St. Michael's and all that, that's what I kept coming across, was a lot of people talking that like these were already there, so they just built on it instead of having to make clearings themselves.
Well, I brought up the UK first with those St. Michael's churches, but then he went on and found even more. It's called the St. Michael Apollo Axis, and it's another chain of churches dedicated to St. Michael from Ireland through the UK, Italy, Greece, and into the Holy Land. And they all lined up in a straight line. So that's where he really started researching that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And from there, he started looking at things like he found that the Egyptians they didn't have ley lines, but they had lines that they aligned their temples and pyramids by astronomical targets,
Right.
which pretty much kept them in a formation.
Yeah, and that's something that you could do numerous episodes on, and it's always been fascinating to me because how precise they are.
Yeah.
And how they came up with that.
Yeah, I remember, even the pyramids, even the pyramids were designed to where, I can't remember exactly what it was, so I'm sure my wife may correct me, but it was a 19-degree angle that the pyramids were built on, and it was designed to point at something.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
So
hey,
they
well,
were very precise and it boggles my mind because of the time they lived in, how they were able to do this so accurately. Right.
And that's there's somebody that I've talked to a little bit about. I won't mention his name on here right now, but he's doing, I know Mama Drew knows who he is. He's doing his like master's, I believe, in Egyptology. And so we've talked about it, and I've never figured out how they can do things so precise and so accurately.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what it is. The Orion's belt. It's like you said, in the time that they lived in, how is it possible? How are they cutting things the way they do and designing it? I don't know. It blows me away. Yeah.
So, but it wasn't just the Egyptians.
No.
The Chinese, they called it dragon lines. And the dragon lines are traditional ideas about the flow of qi or qi starting with your inner energy, but it flows outward. So it goes into feng shui. It goes into how their cities are designed and how they've
Yep.
got to be precisely designed. And
Yep.
even the buildings, the temples they built way back when were so precise, or it brought them bad luck.
Mm-hmm. And that's one thing over the years that I've read a lot on, and the whole feng shui thing, it was fascinating to me. Everything was in its exact space at its exact, time that it had to be there, or everything was jacked up.
Yep. And Jay, that's not improving my setup. That's my portal. That's how I get to and from every day. So, but the more I studied this, the more I realized that every culture had something like this.
Mm-hmm.
We mentioned that the Irish had the Irish and the Scottish had the fairy lines, and it was fairy paths. I'm sorry, and it was paths that ran between ancient sites and into towns. And back in the day, they never built on these paths. And they actually believed that it was bad luck to build because it would interfere with the fairies traveling these paths,
Mm-hmm.
which goes to, like the lights we talked about in the Black Forest.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. So in other parts of Europe and in Britain, they had the corpse roads. And they were routes used to carry the dead to the churches. But again, they were built in straight lines. Now, see, I didn't know that. I didn't know that the shafts pointed toward Ceres. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I should probably pay attention to my wife when she's talking about this Egyptian stuff.
I know. The whole Egyptian thing, as fascinating as it is, there's so much that goes on that I get lost. Like, I can't focus on it.
I try. When she's talking, when we were watching things with Zahi Hawass on TV, I'm fascinated by it, but
I don't retain any of it. Yeah, I don't retain any of the information on that because you get it all thrown at you so fast that it's just too much.
Yeah. So anyway, back to the corpse roads. They didn't do anything with these roads as well because they were the paths for the corpse. They were the path of the dead. And then down in Australia, they had the song lines or the dreaming tracks. And it was routes across the land and sky that was encoded in song. And this is going to be really interesting when we get to the end of this episode because of the song that I found.
Yes, definitely. That was very cool.
But the song lines or the dream tracks would guide your travel, and it would help you to map water and landmarks. And again, it was straight paths. It wasn't going around sand dunes, things like that, or deserts. It was a straight path. And then you have the Native American lines. They had different words for it, but it was the spirit road. It was the road to the afterlife.
Yep.
So
this was one that I couldn't find as much on it as I was looking for. And I don't know about you, but it was difficult for me to find anything except for pretty much what, we've talked about.
Yeah. But from this point, it actually gets into a very religious, and I didn't want to get into the religious side of it. Because yes, it actually is a very spiritual thing today. People will seek out ley lines to find their inner peace.
Yeah,
and you know as well as I do, you've been out to the woods, you've been out to the desert. It's a different feeling when you get out there away from everything.
Oh yeah,
you can actually find your inner peace.
Yeah, it's magical to
it is.
Put it bluntly.
And there are some places that seem more magical than others.
Yeah.
So, and that was the big. I just forgot his name. Who was the guy that started this?
Watkins.
Watkins. Thank you. That was Watkins' theory. Is the ley lines were actually the most magical places you could go.
Yeah.
So, like Stonehenge, people go there and they feel something very real. The people that go to the pyramids, they feel the same thing. And it's not just going there and saying, I've been to the pyramids, these are really special. They actually feel something.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever heard the episode where Dr. Zahi Hawass and Art Bell were together in Egypt.
I don't think I did.
He allowed Art Bell to lay down in one of the ancient sarcophagi.
Oh, wow.
And when Art came out, he basically said that is the most religious experience he's ever had. And they didn't put the lid on it. So he was still exposed to everything, all outside interference. But he said when he was inside, he heard a tone and a vibration that took over his body.
Wow. I'm going to have to find that.
Yeah, when I find it, I'll send you a link. It was a fascinating episode. He did it live from Egypt.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not even sure what show you're talking about, to be honest, with that doctor.
That was the Art Bell show.
Oh, was it the Art Bell show?
It was an Art Bell episode.
Yeah, I'll have to keep an eye out for that.
At the time, Dr. Zahi Hawass was Mama Drew. What was he again? Something with arts and antiquities, but he was the main guy for arts and antiquities in Egypt.
Oh, okay.
So he controlled the pyramids. He controlled the antiquities throughout all of Egypt. Excuse me. So in 1958, this is where it gets into where Mike and I have been wanting it to go. Minister of Antiquities. That's right. In 1958, UFO researcher, I'm going to screw this French name up, Aimé Michael, published Flying Saucers and the Straight Line Mystery, where he claimed that the ley lines were actually a way for UFOs to traverse Earth.
Yeah, like a road map, essentially. Did any culture strike on any of these?
It's more figurative in most cultures.
Yeah, so on that, I did watch something today that, now I wish I could think of, it may have been Lay Hunters. I've got the video saved on our YouTube. But whoever the presenter was saying that a lot of people now are taking maps of the area, like a complete flat map of the area, and drawing on there all the things that would be considered ley lines. And I'd have to watch it again, but somewhere that they're all collected.
Yes.
If that makes sense. So it's not each culture doing it, but individual people that are putting these all together.
So, and even today, I mean, the ley lines, it's still just lore. I mean, there is no proof that ley lines exist, but the more you research into it, the more you realize there might be something there.
I've heard of it, things like this for a while. I never knew the name until you brought it up, to be honest. But the more I looked into it, it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Because everywhere these lines are is where all these events and historical buildings and monuments are all concentrated.
So, anyway, back to Amy Michael, or whatever his name is. And if you're listening, which I highly doubt, if I'm screwing your name up, I apologize. But he wrote this book advancing the idea that UFO sightings tend to cluster along straight lines on maps. And we're going to get into that later because we've seen that some of them do. Right. Then in 1960, Tony Weed, an ex-RAF pilot, he wrote a book titled Skyways and Landmarks, where he argued that UFOs weren't randomly flying around the world, that they followed a path. You know, and it's a weird concept because, you know, if they've traveled hundreds, millions, billions of miles, why would they just be stuck on this path?
Right.
But yeah, he said that the UFOs did follow certain paths around the world. And in his model, in his book, it was ancient mounds, hilltops, marker stones, and they served as beacons or navigation aids for the UFOs.
Yep.
And that would be, you know, not anything small. We're talking navigation beacons such as Stonehenge or the pyramids of Egypt, the pyramids of the Aztec pyramids.
It's like an intergalactic GPS system.
Yeah. So, and he took Watkins' idea and suggested that maybe the ley lines weren't just random lines, but they were actually magnetic or geomagnetic currents tied to the Earth's energy grid. And this one, while it was still shot down as not impossible, they basically said it's a good theory.
Yeah.
Could these just be an energy that we can't see anymore?
Yeah.
Actually, Jay, we're going to get into that towards the very end, and I think you'll like the answer.
Yes, you will.
So, in the 1960s, after Tony Weed wrote his book, a club was created called the Ley Hunters. And they were enthusiasts. They were UFO enthusiasts. And they started actually mapping UFO routes and found that while there were some UFOs that would be off somewhere else, they actually did fly a pattern. Right? And then in 1965, a gentleman by the name of Philip Heselton launched the Ley Hunter magazine, which pretty much turned the Ley Hunters into a really large group where they actually all started spotting this.
Yep.
And they started mapping it.
That's one magazine that I wish I could get my hands on.
Oh, that'd be nice. I would love to get an old copy of that. From what I've seen, it's not being published anymore, which is a shame.
No, I've looked everywhere for it, and I personally haven't found a single one that you can get. I mean, you can see images, but that's about it.
Yeah. So over the years of the Ley Hunters doing what they were doing, they found out that there were more UFO sightings in those locations. So the Ley Hunters started saying that the ley lines were actually flight paths.
Yep.
And that the mounds, the barrels, like you were saying, they were guideposts. They were GPS for alien races to come and visit America. America, the big globe that's in the sky.
Yeah.
To come visit our world.
Yeah.
But the thing they really got curious about is that they weren't just features, that each one of these features by itself had a particular energy. So like we were talking a minute ago, the pyramids have their own energy. Stonehenge has its own energy. And they started piecing it together. And of course, this was the 1960s, so they were pretty much all told, you guys are full of it.
Yep.
Basically, you're batshit crazy.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate it took so long for things like that to be more widely accepted.
But several books that followed came out. The Flying Saucer Vision came out by John Mitchell, and he followed Weed's example and expanded on it. And then in 1969, the View Over Atlantis came out, and it was basically the same thing. And they were saying that the ley lines could actually lead us to the lost city of Atlantis.
That's one thing I did look into a little, not much, but I looked into it a little bit, and that whole thing has always fascinated me as well. Like, I don't know what side of the fence I'm on with it, but I wonder if ley lines have anything to do with Mexico's zone of sight.
They absolutely do.
Yep.
And we got our good friend Colin with us.
Colin, how's it going?
I am so sorry, Colin. I was ready to tune into your podcast this past Sunday, and I took some cold medicine, and I was out for about 6 hours. But I have gone back on YouTube and checked it out. I haven't watched it yet, but I will be. Whatever cold I got over at my work, it still hasn't gone. My throat is still so scratchy. I'm coughing up a lung every 20 minutes.
At least you were able to get some sleep.
I was. That was some good sleep.
I have had such trouble sleeping lately. I've been so sick.
So, hold on 1 second.
You didn't mute it.
I didn't. It figures.
No.
I'm so sorry.
Not a problem. Excuse me. Now I'm hiccuping and burping. I've got to actually find that book while I'm remembering.
Which book is that?
The View Over Atlantis.
Oh, if you find it, let me know.
I definitely will.
So, while you're looking that up, of course, 1960s, 1970s, the skeptics pretty much wrote the rules. So archaeologists and statisticians have repeatedly pointed out that in landscapes rich with historical structures, drawing straight lines that hit multiple points is trivial. And I get where they're coming from.
Right.
I can put a straight line between here and Utah and say this is a ley line, and everything between is all magical.
Yep.
But then you get to the plains between Kansas and Colorado, and you're like, I don't feel any energy.
Yeah, that's not magical there. If you've ever driven it,
that is.
Oh my God, no.
That is a long 6, 7, 8 hours.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, by the 80s and 90s, the lay hunter community was pretty much gone.
Yeah.
I think they should bring it back.
I do too, and I think that's why I really never heard of it.
Yeah.
Or knew much about the name at all, is because they were gone. You never saw anything about it.
Yes, Dory, Opa is doing good.
Oh my! Tell Dory that I said hello. Oh my goodness, that makes me so happy.
So, and then the last publication of the Lay Hunter magazine was in 1999, and I am going to go find a copy because I'm really interested. But they pretty much claimed at that point that ley lines were dead. Yeah. But then they came back.
And like you said, I think a lot more needs to go into it because, I mean, they've speculated stuff with Stonehenge and the pyramids and all these places for a long time. So I think more research into it needs to happen for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got places like my brain just went dead. The large
can't help you.
volcano in Washington, Mount
Hood?
Hood. No, not Mount Hood. The other one.
No, no. Shasta?
Mount Shasta.
Okay.
That's in California.
Is
That's
it?
why I couldn't. Yeah, that's why I couldn't figure it out. I was in the wrong state. But anyway, all of those volcanoes that run along the west coast,
Mhm.
each one of them have their own energy. Each one of them have their own distinct feel when you go there. Oh, that was just for you.
Oh, that makes me. Oh, I can type now. What do you know?
You can type as a guest. That's interesting.
Yeah, but not as the host or a co-host.
It's so weird.
Yeah,
Oh.
they all have their own
Yeah.
specific energies. They're all magical in their own way, I guess is the way to put it.
So, but some of the big ley line thoughts here in the United States are Jillian's Ranch in Washington, and it's a huge UFO community there, and they believe that UFOs go there because of hidden energetic corridors. See, this is the bad part about working in the dark. Actually, I didn't get into that, and I am sorry, Jay. Yes, Jerusalem, Mecca, and Bethlehem do have signs of ley lines, but the weird part is the three of them are not connected to each other.
Yeah. Let's see here.
So back
Oh,
to Jillian's Ranch.
Yeah.
So since 2003, the ranch has hosted UFO sighting events and reports of light shows almost daily there.
Mm-hmm. Did you look up much about that place?
I have not. I just found out about it during the research of this, and I'm going to this week.
Yeah. It's pretty impressive what they do. I mean, they do almost like what is it called? The one your mom went to, the con.
The Phenomenon.
Yeah, it's almost something like that. But they all go out into the wilderness and they sit there and they talk about it, and I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens there, and there's videos of it all over that you definitely need to watch.
So I am going to check that out. It is fascinating that I even pulled that up. I'd never heard about it until I started researching this. So, but here's the interesting thing. The areas I'm about to mention are where ley lines cross. And one of them is speculative, but it's pointing more and more towards there are ley lines that cross this place. And that's in your home state of Utah, the Skinwalker Ranch.
Yes, that's one place that if you're into anything that we talk about, that's one place you will find it. All of it.
Yes.
So
but Jillian's Ranch has ley lines that cross. Skinwalker Ranch has ley lines that cross. And I found out just recently the Bermuda Triangle, the center of the Bermuda Triangle itself, has ley lines that cross.
Yep.
And then the Lake Michigan Triangle has ley lines that cross.
Yep. You know, I'm glad that was on the research because there's something that I've seen a lot of actually recently there's the Bermuda Triangle, the Great Lakes Triangle, and there's the Alaska Triangle.
The Alaska Triangle. Actually, I was going to talk to you privately about this, but I want to do a show on the Alaska Triangle.
I think we should.
I mean, that is fascinating, especially when you not just the triangle itself, but then you start putting the military conspiracies together with it.
Yeah, there's something. I'll find it and I'll send it to you after the show about it. That's really cool.
Okay. But here's where it gets fascinating. There are reports from Jillian's Ranch, Skinwalker Ranch, and the Lake Michigan Triangle that these places may also be portals. and they're now starting to research to find out. I mean, not official scientific research, of course, but more like Alien Mike and Sergeant Shenanigator research.
Google.
Exactly. But they're starting to think that maybe these portals are how some of these ships that we see are actually getting here, rather than traveling thousands and thousands of light years.
Yep.
They're using these portals to travel.
Almost a Stargate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and with some of the findings that I've seen on this season's Skinwalker Ranch, it becomes more and more intriguing.
We've talked about that. I'm gonna definitely
I know.
Yeah.
You gotta watch this season though.
And you keep saying that, and one of these days I will.
I mean, you don't have to watch anything else. I know the gentleman that you don't really like.
Yeah.
He's not in this season. He's taking care of his sick mom and his sick daughter.
Okay.
So he's not in this one. But the findings they have found at Skinwalker Ranch this time will blow your mind.
I've been, honestly, even though I dislike the guy, I have been fascinated. Like the first few or 2 seasons, I was obsessed with it. It was so good. All the stuff they were, finding that previously had never come up.
Yeah.
So I know there's some really cool stuff going on, and I wouldn't doubt, with everything I've read and watched about it, that there's portals there.
Oh, there, in my mind, just from what I've seen in the episodes,
mm-hmm.
Things traveling through the mountain and coming out the other side.
But it gets good. Yep. Yeah, I just read that. Okay, you talked me into it. It goes on tonight.
All right. So, but yeah, every place they say that the ley lines are crossing are portals that allow, whether it's just the small Phoenix lights or large aircraft or large spacecraft. Nobody knows for sure.
Yeah.
But strange occurrences happen where these lines cross.
Yep.
So it does get you thinking that maybe there is a vortex, maybe there is a portal, something's going on.
I think that's what was really, I guess, the most interesting to me is not just the ley lines, and all the things that are along them, but where they cross and how much stuff goes on at those specific points.
Yeah. It's very interesting. And you have to forgive me, I'm losing my voice again. Thankfully, I've got hot tea with me.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into the few places I talked to. Mike, my English is not gooder tonight.
Yeah, you're having a harder time tonight.
I really am. So we're gonna go to Jillian.
It's usually me.
Well, yeah, it's contagious.
Yeah.
Catch it. It's like catching a computer virus. You've given me a virus across the internet.
Uh-oh.
So, Jillian's Ranch. So Mike just talked about that. It is a very big hotspot for UFO activity. Very big hotspot. And I think you did say that they've got like a convention there.
Yeah, and I don't know if convention is the right word. It's just a big gathering that they all do, and they tell you how to watch for different things going on, whether it's lights, orbs, ships, whatever. It's basically. So
it's kind of like the lights down in Texas.
Yeah,
it's a whole bunch of people show up because the lights are going to show up.
Yeah, exactly, and you get there just to catch it.
Yeah, and Colin, I think I've got chamomile downstairs, but right now I'm doing Earl Grey with some honey. Probably do some chamomile later. You
got to do some Paris with honey.
Some Paris?
Yeah.
I think I've actually got some Paris left. So for those that don't know about Skinwalker Ranch, it is huge, not just in the UFO community, but the paranormal community, the Native American folklore community. I mean, if it's something strange, it's on this ranch.
All right. And that's why I said it doesn't matter what you're interested in. If it has anything to do with something unnatural, go there. Watch that.
There's a reason Bob Bigelow spent millions of dollars in researching that place.
Yep.
I agree, Lil. I do need a toddy. I'll see what I got in the liquor cabinet after this show. I do have some Paris and some.
There you go.
So, but Skinwalker Ranch supposedly does have ley lines that converge. Bob Bigelow, he's a billionaire and a UFO enthusiast, and he brought the National Institute of Scientific Discovery to this ranch, which was a government contract company, to research everything that was going on there, to include the possibility of portals.
Yep.
So we could do an episode on Skinwalker, and I'm sure at some point we will.
Yeah.
Especially after you watch this season.
Yeah. I'll definitely watch it. The one thing that I kind of thought was interesting about it is it's on a ley line, but yeah, it's not always mentioned that it is, and sometimes it's said that it's not on a ley line.
That's the really strange part. Is I've seen the same thing.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's people are just wanting to argue against the fact that it is, or on the vice versa, that people are wanting to say yes it is against those that say no it's not.
Well, I know the cast and crew of The Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch, they don't want to bring it up because they're kind of torn one way or the other as well. They're not 100% sure.
Yeah. The thing that I really did like about it is they went in, I think, more scientifically than Bigelow did.
Oh yeah, Bigelow was a great investigator, but he went in with his mind made up. Yeah,
and whatever his name is, I can't think of the main guy. Whatever. Yeah, I just can't remember his name.
Travis.
No, not Travis. No,
from Bigelow's crew.
The owner of the new season.
Is
it Brandon?
Brandon Fugel, yeah.
Yeah, him. I like how he goes in saying, like, we're not going to say one way or the other. We're just going to let the evidence speak for itself, and then you decide what you think.
Oh.
Yes.
Yep. I think there's going to be some of this in my future, near future tonight.
Have some for me.
I will do it. So, but like I said, we would probably do an entire episode on Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because there is so much to talk about. But let's get back to the Lake Michigan Triangle. UFO reports and underwater UFOs, USOs.
Yep.
Constantly happening in the Lake Michigan Triangle. Maybe I've already had too many toddies and I haven't even tasted them yet.
There you go.
So each one of these spots is just a huge hot spot, and that's just 3.
Mm-hmm.
Just out of curiosity, I researched, and there's a ley line that goes through a place that we talked about recently in Sweden, where the ley lines cross. And it's right around a lake.
I didn't see that. Is it the one that he was talking to us about a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
I did not see that.
I will see if I can pull that map up again. And for anybody watching, I mean, these maps aren't made up by scientists. They're not made up. They're made up by guys like us.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's done through research and not just somebody drawing a straight line over the lake and going, yep, here's a ley line right here.
Here we go. Yeah.
hopefully they've actually researched and said, yeah, there's a lot of activity along this port, and there's a lot of activity along this line, and right where they intersect, it just happens to be where that lake is. I'm hoping that's the case, but I'll send you when I find it again. I'll send you a photo of the map.
Okay, cool.
Right. But these are just a few. I mean, there are tons and tons of these reports.
Yeah, and that's why I, earlier this week said, what specifically, should we talk about in this episode? Because you type in ley lines and holy crap, there are so many things that can.
Yeah, you type up ley lines and just do an image search, and you're like, these all can't be ley lines because you combine them all into one, and the Earth becomes a black line.
Yeah, it's just absolutely covered.
But the one thing everybody does agree on is the ley lines are energy. They're not just a line drawn in the sand. They are energy.
Yeah.
And they're a specific type of energy, and it's different at each location.
Mm-hmm.
And where they cross, the energy is even more intense. One of them is where ley lines cross is Mount Shasta. And for anybody that's researched UFO phenomenon, Mount Shasta is a huge hotspot. I mean, they've seen UFOs disappear into the mountain.
Yeah, and those stories are always very intriguing.
Yeah, but we're going to get into a really nice ley line right now, and this ley line connects. It's a wider ley line than normal, but it connects Area 51, the Four Corners, and there's a little town where an alien craft crashed called Roswell, I believe.
Yep.
And there is a ley line that runs through the 37th parallel.
Yeah.
And that encompasses pretty much a bulk of UFO sightings across the United States.
Yeah, it goes through California, Arizona, New Mexico,
Texas,
Colorado, and see, I found stuff that says part of it goes through Kansas, Missouri.
It does.
That high as well.
Yep. But the ley line pretty much, if you take the bottom of the 37th parallel to the top of the 37th parallel, the ley line is pretty much dead center.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was honestly, I think, one of the, it wasn't called a ley line when I first received that video or that first picture I got. And I had no idea that we had something like that here.
I didn't either. And I started researching this after you told me about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it cuts across Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, Nevada, Colorado, Kansas,
Missouri.
So it is
Illinois.
A lot.
Yeah. And what I found really cool about it, and I did see it in some other research, but it wasn't just the UFO hotspots. It follows all the military installations across.
Yes. I'm just about to get into that because in the conspiracy world that Mike and I live in, there are the military bases. Yes, yeah. Actually, we do dowsing. I've done it several times on paranormal investigations.
Are those the dowsing rods that you hold up and they move?
Yep.
I've never done it, but I know people that do.
So, but yeah, it is bigger in your neck of the woods of the British Isles than it is over here. But yes, we do take part of it in it. And it seems like every time I watch a paranormal show or any type of energy show from the UK, the dowsing rods are the first things to come out.
Yep. And over here, it's EVPs.
Yep. So, Roswell, New Mexico. I'm sure nobody here has heard about that. So we don't even need to get into Roswell, New Mexico. But it lies close to this ley line. And as I was saying earlier, this, as Mike was saying, this runs along the military bases, but it also runs along the conspiracy military bases. The Hangar 18, and I'm going to screw this name up, so correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, the Dulce, New Mexico.
Dulce,
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The alleged underground alien base of Dulce, New Mexico.
That's
Four Corners.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's another one that I would love to do a show on.
On which one?
On that underground alien military base.
Yeah, that one's really cool.
My chair keeps sliding down.
Chair's getting. Never mind. I'm not going to go there.
The chair's it's getting old like its occupant.
I was going to say the hydraulics are wearing out.
That's a polite way of saying it. Thank you.
Yeah.
So.
Lilith, I've heard of people doing that, and I've always been really interested in it, but I haven't looked into it much. But I've seen a lot of people that do that, and it's big in where I first heard it was because I'm really big into survival and prepping and bushcraft and all that, and they do it a lot in that.
I'm going to have to find a tweed jacket now.
That's good.
So, but yeah, there's the Dulce hidden alien base, and the weird part is if you start to research that, it becomes more plausible.
Yeah.
I mean, not possible, but plausible. Then you've got the UFO places that are constantly being sighted on UFO maps, and that's the Four Corners Shiprock area.
Mm-hmm.
Area 51. I mean, if you haven't heard of Area 51, you may be on the wrong channel.
Yeah.
But the bad part about all of this is the cattle mutilations along this.
That I'm glad you brought that up because I mean that happens a lot. Big in Colorado, it's big in Skinwalker Ranch, and that's not one that I really know if I can get behind. That just seems it's too weird to me. I know when they talk about they have like medical examiners come out, excuse me, and they say, we have no instruments that can cut this precisely and do these things. But there's just something about it that doesn't seem like it's real.
Yeah. To me, it's like the alien abductions we talked about last week.
Right.
Maybe 1% of the cattle mutilations are real, mm-hmm. but the 99% throw it all off.
Yeah. And that, not to get off topic, just real quick, that's it follows along the same lines as crop circles to me.
Yeah.
That it's just a hope.
As far as we know, one crop circle was really communication, and then teenagers went out and made the rest and screwed the whole thing up. So we don't know whether it was real or not anymore.
Look,
this chair is driving me bananas.
We're gonna start a GoFundMe so Sergeant Shenanigator can get a new chair.
Usually this chair is really good, and it just seems to be dropping. And kind of...
I see you all the way up here, and then you're going like this over time.
Yeah. So I do have another chair over there. It's not my favorite to sit for longer than about an hour.
Yeah.
So I know you know more about the 37th parallel than I do. Is there anything you want to add to this?
The only other things that I know of, the military activity that, is explained, dang it, excuse me. Now I'm having trouble talking. That's linked to the unexplained lights in Fort Leonard, Missouri, and then the Kelly Hopkinsville Goblins alien encounter in Kentucky.
I didn't hear about that, but I did hear about the Joplin Spook Lights, which is I think the one you're talking about in the Fort Leonard area. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the piston is gone. And
is it?
Yeah.
In your...
It's my chair's way of saying, go exercise some more, Steve.
Yeah.
You've lost a little bit of weight. Go lose some more.
Just a little bit more. I don't really have much to add to it, to be honest. The only other things that I had written down were that it acts like a geophysical or magnetic corridor, which is the same as the other ley lines that we've discovered or we've discussed.
Okay. Yeah.
And then it apparently runs through quite a few, sacred, ancient Native American sites, which...
Nadine, why are you doing this to me?
Give Drew the launch button.
No. I mean, that would be a fascinating podcast. Watch me launch to the ceiling. Look, a UFO.
Put a couple of lights on you.
I'm going to be out of frame in a minute if this keeps up.
Well, one thing I do kind of want to discuss about it, I don't know, and I'm going to have to look it up, is if you remember me talking... Dixie, can you stop shaking that bell?
Hi, Dixie.
She just looked over like, what? When I was talking about Emery Smith, who worked at Los Alamos, do you know how far Alamos is from Dulce by chance?
Not very far at all.
Okay, so I know it runs through the 37th parallel, the military installation, all that. Because in Gaia, which I'm not sure if you happen to watch it yet or not, he came out as a whistleblower and talks about first being in the military, doing something medical, and then got hired at Los Alamos to basically dissect things. And at first, foot bumps like a barber's chair. And
I could see her doing that, yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But he goes on to talk about that whatever he's dissecting, it starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger to where it's whole arms or hands, legs, torsos, whole bodies of different aliens. And he doesn't know if it's real or lab grown, because they throw a lot of stuff out there in case people go public.
I can feel the love in the room tonight.
Oh, they love you.
They do.
It's usually me getting the crap. But that apparently there's a lot of aliens that supposedly walk around Los Alamos. So I think there would be a big relation between Dulce and that.
I know you and I have talked about this. I think we both believe the same thing, that it's not real, but there is the theory between Dulce and Area 51. There is an underground tunnel. Yeah,
and I'm glad you brought that up, because I think it's the first Gaia episode of it, Smith talks about that it's a pretty much circular tunnel that just goes straight all the way through. And watch it, Mike, or I'll start talking about those flags. Oh, please don't. That scared the hell out of me last time. And Steve said that quite a few times to me, and I've stopped dead in my tracks and kind of, if it moves, it's definitely something, because there's no fans blowing on it today.
No,
but
I keep getting distracted because that closet door behind me, I keep waiting to see it slowly open.
Move. Yeah, like, wasn't that the very first episode where it did that?
That was the door on this side.
Oh, on that, yeah. When you sent that to me and I looked at it and I was like, oh crap.
That was weird.
Yeah, I can't see anything that made it move in the video.
And that's why I moved everything over to this side of the office so you can't see that door anymore. I don't want to know what's going on over there.
Yep. Yeah, so I've talked to a few people about that tunnel, and a few believe that it, there's the possibility that it is there, but then there's other people that if it was there, we would know. Somebody would have done some imaging or something that would have found it by now.
Yeah, the reason I don't believe in it is because the way our security clearance stuff is set up.
Mm-hmm.
You give somebody security clearance, it just means in 5 years I'm going to write a book.
Yep. Yeah, so
you can't keep a secret in the government.
Oh no. And I mean, think about how far away the two bases are.
Yeah. Do I think there's tunnels down there? Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. But there's not a direct line straight across.
I mean, I know when I was stationed in Germany, we had tunnels from World War II under our barracks.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't there be tunnels in military bases?
Yeah. I mean, hell, we've got that in downtown Salt Lake, right off of 4th South and State Street. There's all over there. It's underground tunnels.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Do I think it would be fascinating? Yeah.
Oh, it would be incredible. But if we can do that, why haven't we built a tunnel for a high-speed rail to get us from New York to Salt Lake in an hour and 15 minutes?
Yep. Like the one that's supposedly going from, New York to London?
Oh, that's going to be a fascinating tunnel the first time.
Yeah.
Probably won't be a second trip.
No. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes on, in this neck of the woods. So I worked with the guy a long time ago that he went up to Area 51 because you can stand at certain points around it.
Hey, walk around to the gate.
Yeah, and he talked about, the feeling you get when you're there. And then he also did Skinwalker Ranch because that's one place I have never, ever thought about really going to. I don't know why. I just, even to get as close as possible, it would be cool. But he said it was the same thing. Like the energy you feel coming out of there is intense.
My parents and my brother and sister-in-law went right up to the front gate of Skinwalker Ranch. Mm-hmm. And until they told me this, I didn't know there's actually a campground right next to Skinwalker that will bring you right up to the border so you can look down on the homestead.
Yeah, there's where it kind of lays in the valley, there's a vista almost like on a cliff right up above that looks straight down and I think that's where the campground is.
I would love to go there.
I would too. And I just
people are like, I want to get onto Skinwalker and see what they see. What, you think only the people on Skinwalker can see the orbs and the lights and the alien ships?
Oh no,
you're next door. You can see it.
Yeah, and he said when he went up there, I know he said he went to that like overlooking cliff, and he said it's crazy the stuff that goes on. It's just really eerie to be there, and no.
Okay, we're definitely doing an Area 51 show and a Skinwalker Ranch show.
Okay. We can do Area 51 and Skinwalker.
All right. So,
is there anything else that you would like to add? I mean, about 37th parallel?
Yeah. I think you have a date night coming up, Mike.
Yeah, I just saw that and was like, no. I've had enough creepy encounters out in the wilderness. I don't need ghosts and skinwalkers and the campers.
That would be fun. Get us together out there, do a live camping show right next to Skinwalker.
That would be a lot of fun.
I know a couple of guys that actually tried to do a live podcast next to Area 51's front gate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the polite deputy said that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Do you remember? Oh, it had to have been, I want to say 2014, but I could be way off base. But somebody had made a Facebook post or a group that said Storm Area 51.
Oh, yeah.
That was
actually recently. It was like 2019.
Okay. Then they must have done it more than once, because the one I'm talking about, they had a ton of people that said they were, and what ended up happening is they got semi close to it and just turned it into a big music festival.
Yeah. I think that's 2013, 2014.
Yeah. And so it started out.
For anybody out there that wants to storm Area 51, they are more heavily armed than you could ever be.
Yeah.
Those are military contractors that have all the fun toys.
Yep. And their, I guess, reasoning was if we all stormed, they wouldn't have enough to stop us.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
But it's the old fight or flight thing.
Mm-hmm.
You end up in a fight against 20 guys. We're going to end up taking you out. Yeah, you might, but one of you is going down first. Who wants to take the first one?
Yeah, exactly. They come out guns a-blazing, guaranteed everybody's going to scatter.
Oh, that's right, Nadine. I forgot about that. It was one of the train wreck series. So, as far as the aliens, that's the aliens, the UFOs, that's kind of where there's still a lot more. Damn this chair.
You might want to just switch for the last few minutes.
Possibly. I'm gonna stick it out. Pretty soon, all you guys will see is this.
Just the top of your head.
So, but I want to get back to the ley lines and the energy.
Yes.
Because what I found is there's a theory that the reason we're not paying attention to the ley lines anymore is because of the noise of our planet. And not the noise of our planet itself, but the noise that we've created in our planet. You know, the traffic, the trains, the airplanes, the hustle and bustle of city life. Even when you're out in the plains, the tractors and the semi trucks rolling up and down the road. We're not in tune anymore. But I like that one. But there's a theory out there of it's called the Schumann resonances, and it's the electromagnetic heartbeat at 7.83 hertz, and that's what a lot of people say this energy is this resonance that the Earth is actually creating. And that's why when you go out into the woods or you go out into the desert, you feel more at peace. You're away from the noise that doesn't agree with you, and you can start to pick up on these other noises. And somebody, let me pull it up here real quick. I'm losing my mind. There we go. Somebody wrote this. Imagine for just one moment that everything stopped. The wind gone, the ocean still, the insects, the birds, even the rustle of leaves mute. No hum of traffic, no buzz of electricity, just nothing. And in that impossible silence, you start to wonder, would we finally hear the earth? And that's, to me, that's what this Schumann resonance is.
Who do you know who wrote that?
I don't. I just found it on the internet.
You need to send that to me.
You've already got it. It's like the last page of the notes I sent you.
Oh, It's right there. I'm looking right at it. Okay.
Oh, I wish I knew who wrote that. But what they were talking about is picture the mountains as bass drums, or the rivers and fault lines are like strings. The stone monuments, rich with quartz, they acted like amplifiers and resonators. Imagine what you would hear if we could actually listen to the earth and tune into what's actually going on around us, rather than the hustle and bustle of everyday life. And the cool part is I found something like that. And I know you've already heard this.
Yeah, but I need to hear it again.
All right, so this is a recorded sound, and I'll tell you about it in a second. All right, so this sound, you can find this on NASA's website. This is a recording taken from the space station of the sound of Earth. And this is just one of the sounds they've recorded. Mm-hmm. If you get on YouTube and search for sounds of the planets, sounds of the solar system, they have taken a lot of recordings, and it seems like every planet, every moon in our solar system has a different sound.
Yep. One that I saw most recently was the sun.
Yeah.
And it was almost frightening to hear how that sounds.
Very frightening. And yes, Nadine, I've actually checked out ley lines here in New York, and I'm going to be checking them out a lot more.
Is there some that run around your neck of the wood, like right next to where you're at?
There is one that runs close to us, but it seems like the maps I found the most are up near, they're up north along the Canadian border.
Okay. Alec, what's up, buddy?
Alec, what's going on, man?
Glad you could join us.
But you start taking the Schumann resonance and combine that with the electromagnetic energy of the Earth, and maybe we're not paying attention to ley lines anymore because we can't hear them.
Yeah. And
I started thinking, excuse me a second. The ley lines that were built back when the pyramids were being built, or when whoever built Stonehenge or brought in Stonehenge or whatever, when that was going on, I honestly think they were more in tune with the earth and with nature than we will ever be, because we just don't have that anymore.
No. And that's one reason I honestly wanted to leave the city, why I wanted to be in Alaska, because the people I know up there that don't live in the cities, it's no matter how hard they're working to survive, they're at peace with everything because they don't have all the bullcrap going on around them, all the sounds and lights and everything.
Yeah. So just imagine if we could get back in tune with what we know now and the technology we have. If we could still use that technology, but tune it out.
Yeah.
Tune everything out and get back in touch with the way it was back then. Imagine how much more we could actually find.
Yeah.
We may have the actual answers for ley lines.
Yeah. Well, another thing that I've heard, a lot of people talk about is going barefoot. Something as simple as that, you know, getting outside, walking around barefoot in the mountains, and you know, getting that grounding connection with Earth.
Yep. It makes perfect sense. I mean, you're absorbing the energy.
Yep.
And no matter what anybody says, there is energy on this planet.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can say there's not, but even scientists have said there is energy within the planet. I mean, all you got to do is look a few miles below us at the molten lava that's flowing around. That will never harm us here, but
right.
The Earth's core it's not solid.
Nope. It's moving. It's there's definitely energy coming off of everything.
You know, and everything in our solar system is the same thing. You take all those sounds that I was talking about on YouTube and combine it. Why wouldn't UFOs be using something like that to guide themselves places?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's the basic I have on ley lines. And there is still a ton more to research.
Yeah, that I think, like a lot of our episodes, this is another one that you could have multiple episodes on, and it's just healthy for your balance and proprioception. Yep, I used to be barefoot all the time. Now I can't. I don't know what it is, but even sleeping, I have socks on.
I'm that little whiner. I get a sticker on my foot. I'm out for days.
Yeah. Mine used to run around.
I go to the beach. Yeah, my feet are buried in the sand.
Yep. Yeah, if I'm in the beach, yeah, definitely. But everywhere, and it may be because I keep my house so cold that, I mean, I'm sitting here with the sweater on and it's cold in here. But I thought I had one more thing I was going to add. Oh, was this it? I don't know if you came across this, but did you come across Tesla and his work with ley lines?
I actually did, but go ahead. I didn't research as much as I should, and you just reminded me I should have.
Yeah. What I have here, it just says Tesla was fascinated by the idea that the Earth itself could conduct and store electrical engineer energy. He believed that the planet was like a big giant conductor that could, you know, transmit power wirelessly. So let's say what else.
I'm gonna check that out, Colin.
And I'm just scribble maps.
I just wrote that down.
I'm gonna write that down too. But yeah, I only had a little bit down on Tesla and ley lines, but it was basically that he was trying to use the Earth's energy as a way to power stuff.
He honestly believed that he didn't believe in ley lines, but he believed in the concept of the Earth is a huge energy field.
Yeah,
and in one of the photos that I guess it was a drawing or something, you could see it's in a lot of scientific books now, but you could see what he drew was the energy leaving the Earth and coming back around. So it was a North Pole to the South Pole, all the way around the globe. Yep.
And so like you said, I also didn't do a lot of research on it, but I will now. It's, you know, fascinating that he thought he could harness all the energy coming off the Earth to power things.
Yep. So let me take my 77 pages of notes here. I'm going to save all my notes and just turn them into a book.
There you go.
That only I will buy.
No, I would buy it.
You'd buy it?
Yeah.
Well, you get it for free anyway. I send you my notes.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Excuse me.
I'm gonna ask your opinion in just a minute, but for everybody out there, let me know your opinion on ley lines. The bull crap? Is it something real? Something that goes beyond even what I was talking about tonight? But before you do that, hit that like button, subscribe, share. Show us some love. I know y'all do show us love every week, and we truly appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
But keep sharing. I've seen our subscribers go up a few just this week.
I have too. I've been keeping track of that. There's some that I know, some that I don't, and
I just lost my train of thought again. It derailed.
Well, I was going to say also go check out, if you haven't already, the Horrific podcast.
Oh, yes. Definitely check out the Horrific podcast. I'm not missing it this week.
Yep, it's easy. It's easy to hit even if you hit the unlike, I don't know. I think they have an unlike button, don't they? Even if you hit that, it there.
I wasn't quick enough. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Hit the thumbs down. If we're doing something wrong, let us know.
Yep.
We probably won't change. Probably won't change, but we'll read it at least.
Yeah. Yeah. Even I know Horrific's commented, Lilith has commented. If everybody just made a little comment on there, it bumps up the algorithm, gets it out there.
So, all right, Mike. Oh, hold on.
Turns out the area I grew up in, the chain of lagoons, is a ley lines area, and I'm not surprised one bit. It's magical. I'm going to have to – let me write that down. I want to read more about that.
The chain of lagoons.
Lagoons. Sweet.
So, also, on Halloween, we will not be live that day, but we will have an episode posted.
Okay.
And we are going to come up with at least an hour's worth of ghost stories to post on Halloween night. So you can tune in anytime and listen to the ghost stories. But if you want your ghost stories read, send it out to midnightsignalpodcast@gmail.com, and we would be more than happy to read your ghost story on the air.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that. I completely forgot about that. We can always find multiple ghost stories.
Oh yeah.
You can close your eyes and think of 1,000 of them, but I would love to hear it from people that are watching. Shoot an email.
We want to hear your ghost stories.
Yep. A text message. Send it somehow. I would love to know. I've got plenty of my own, so I would love to hear what everybody else has. And I know it's on there, and you just said it, but podcast.
And the GoFundMe for my chair will be up on Facebook later.
Make sure I type that in right. Midnight Signal Podcast at gmail.com. And we'll set up a GoFundMe for you. Get you a new chair.
That ought to get me about 25, maybe 30 cents.
Yeah. Or, we can do what we did back in the day, and we can just give you a telephone book to sit on.
That would work too. But then I have to tie some bricks on the bottom of my feet so I can still touch the floor.
Yeah.
So, all of my stuff on ley lines, Mike.
I like.
What say you? You a believer?
Yes. I mean, in the fact that everything, as far as like Stonehenge and the pyramids and all these things are all along corridors, the lines. I knew that before you
go any further with that one, though. Do you believe it was set up on purpose?
I don't know. There's a part of me that does think yes, it was set up on purpose. And part of me that thinks, oh, they just felt some connection to that area, and so they built it, and they just happened to all form a line.
Well, then we agree on that part.
Yeah. So that's kind of, it depends on the circumstance, I guess, the situation. But when you get down to it, when you start looking at UFO sightings and where it's concentrated the most, and then you overlay a ley line map over it, you see that where they cross and where they're at is where it's happening. So, good place to go. So yeah, as far as the ley lines, for the most part, yes, I do. The portals section of it, I don't know. Do I want to believe? Yes, but I don't know if I could.
That's such a new concept. I mean, it's not a new concept, but it's starting to come out more mainstream new right now. Mainstream conspiracy new.
And when it comes to conspiracy theories, I love conspiracy theories. I think most of even though they're interesting, I think they're stupid.
Yep.
But that one I'm not sure on yet. I'm more inclined to say no, I don't buy it, but I've been proven wrong numerous times.
I want to buy it.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I'm not sure. I mean, just the size of some of the descriptions of the triangle crafts or the saucer crafts, they're not coming out of a little hole on the side of a mountain without being spotted.
No. And the concept is great.
Yep.
I love science fiction.
I mean, I got my portal right back there.
Yeah. It's the door. My portal leads me right back to this chair every day.
I was going to go ahead and reshape that to look like the portal from Star Trek.
That'd be great. But yeah, it's like I said, when you look at where everything is really concentrated, and then you look at where the ley lines are, that makes sense. But there's also that part of me that says, well, people are just making up these lines as well. That you really, that they could just see all these things happening and say, okay, well, we're just going to draw a line here and say that's a ley line.
Yeah, I think Mama Drew kind of believes with us.
Yeah. But with that being said, do I love the theory and everything? Yes, I do. I think it's fascinating.
Oh, absolutely. Every day I read more on ley lines and the possibility of portals. And every day I want mainstream science to say, yeah, we have figured it out, and yes.
That's the thing with a lot of stuff nowadays is I wish they would devote more actual science to it, so for certain.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's too many people out there that think we're nut jobs wearing tinfoil hats and we're just making up stuff.
There's no need to talk about my tinfoil hat, man.
Yeah, I know. I keep forgetting to wear mine.
I'm going to one of these days. I really am.
Yeah. I'm going to log in and have it on and be completely unexpected.
So I keep freaking myself out. I got a bigger monitor behind my laptop, and I've got a really cool Gothic style bookshelf there. And I keep looking up, and there's a skull right there. I'm like, I keep forgetting that monitor's on behind it.
It's Halloween time almost, and you're already scaring yourself.
Well, for a paranormal investigator, a UFO believer, I'm afraid of the dark. That's why I carry a hammer.
I should probably carry a hammer versus what I usually do.
A hammer is much better.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah,
I think we're in agreement on this.
Yeah,
I do believe in ley lines. I do believe that there's energy within the earth.
100%.
60% sure that these ley lines may be corridors for UFOs.
Mm-hmm.
Portals, I need more information.
Yeah, and the corridor part, I'm also at the I don't know yet regarding looking for ley lines as no school techniques.
Now, yeah, the concept for ley lines isn't strange. It's a very valid concept.
You'd be jealous.
But you start adding the conspiracy theories into ley lines. I love the idea. I really want to believe. Some of it I'm on the fence, ready to tip to the right side.
Yeah.
And some of it I'm like, no, there's got to be more.
Yeah, and that
it's like the tunnel between Dulce and Area 51.
I want it to be there, but yeah.
Exactly.
It's so yeah. I'm just interesting concept. Parts I believe, parts I can't. Not until I have more information, I guess.
And my chair's going down more.
Oh my god, that was the greatest.
So, but I got nothing else, man.
I think I'm good too.
All right. Well, before we say goodbye, enjoy the earth one more time.
Yeah.
And with that being said, Mike, we will talk to you next week.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and we will see all of you next week.
See you guys next week.